Okay, so this is responding to Lanre. Your question is, do you work in the visa office? People just come up with stuffs they think should or shouldn't be. Well, Lanre, let me do a little bit of introduction to you. A lot of people asked this question, but I just read yours and I felt like, okay, it's time to answer this question clearly. I don't work in visa office. I am not IRCC. Someone else asked me, are you IRCC? IRCC is the Immigration Canada. Nobody is IRCC. It's a government body that issues the visa. But I am RCIC, which is a registered immigration consultant of Canada. I am licensed to own and advise on immigration practice in Canada. You can go to the college website and verify my registration. So moving on, you see, people just come up and ask questions. Let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I've lived in the UK as an international student, graduated and worked in the UK. Then I moved to New Zealand. I've lived a couple of years there, graduated as an international student and worked. Then I moved to Canada as a permanent resident. I didn't come as a student, as a permanent resident. And I have lectured in Canada and I work in Canada and I have license to practice as an immigration consultant, which you can verify on the college website. Now, moving on, I entered immigration when it was something still strange in Nigeria because in 1996, 97, 98, that's when I entered immigration. For my quest to travel abroad and study, I was looking for an economical pathway because I didn't have that money to travel. That's how I went into it myself. I started investigating. Once I found my pathway, I started helping other Nigerian students, started helping other people on the grounds of pro bono. Pro bono is helping for free. Even whilst I was a student in the UK, I was still helping. In New Zealand, I was still helping. Then until at some point, someone said, you can set this as a business and help more people. That's how we started it as a business. It was only in Canada that I moved to Canada. Canada said, you can't continue to practice without having a license because Canada require you to have a practice in Canada by having a license. So I went and got my license. I did a diploma in immigration consulting and I got my license and I'm licensed by the college. Now, have I lived abroad? I have lived as an international student. I have lived on postgraduate work permit. I have lived as a permanent resident. I have lived as a Canadian citizen. I'm still living as a Canadian citizen. So if you need wealth of experience, you want to go to somebody that not just only read it, but had lived it, has been in the pathway. Now you asked if I've traveled. One person said, have you traveled? How many countries have you been? It's not a competition, but I've traveled, my dear. And I do a lot of country immigration. When I started with visa to Dubai. I've done visa to Dubai. I've done visa to UAE. I've done visa to Europe, France, UK. I have vast knowledge. I've done for Australia. I'm still doing for Australia. I do American visa. I do New Zealand visa. I have years of experience from doing visa. So when I talk from the stance of experience. I talk from the point of experience. And a whole lot of us that are licensed in Canada, we have issues coming online because we acknowledge there are bullies online that will want to bully you, that will want to make you feel bad for what you're doing. But we don't give up because we need people to have the right information. Just last year, between December last year to February, I've had people that got rejection because they went to one agent in Lagos or they are following one Instagram person online and they are getting the right information. They are getting what we call the one suit fit all approach, which is why you say, I know somebody that came to Canada. He was an international student. Their father sponsored them. Then for that reason, you will put your application. Have you forgotten immigration is a changing process? Regulation changes. It follows, it goes with the trend. Like everything trends, clothes trends, immigration trends, different policies. Look at America. America is changing a lot of policy. So it's not the same way somebody traveled yesterday that the next person will travel next year. The same thing with Canada. The same thing with UK. Things changes. There are things that worked last year, worked last 2 years, but they're not working right now because the country is working hard to clamp down on those that are taking advantage of the process. And what happens is this will affect the ones that are genuinely wanting to use the process to help themselves. Well, if you want to work with somebody that has the experience, you got me. You can go to my DP. You can go to our website. I have my WhatsApp. The easiest way to get me is via WhatsApp. At the moment, I work full-time weekends. Weekdays, I don't work that often, but I work full-time weekends. So if you want to get me, send me a WhatsApp message. It's on my DP. Hope to talk to you soon. And bye.